Now you're in the US shortly after the election. Yes. Many people believe that political leaders should never abandon the struggle. There's a lot of criticism directed or headed to your direction. People saying you abandoned the struggle, you ran away, you are a coward. You've had people say this. Did you abandon the struggle? Why did you run away?
Interesting. We must know that naysayers will always have something to say.
Absolutely.
Even when you survive, they'll say, you're a coward, why didn't you become a martyr?
It's a mental problem. Something is fundamentally evil, wrong, grotesque with this man. I'm sorry, I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist to diagnose him. What's your conclusion about this man?
Mordecai, do you believe in God?
Yep, I do.
Do you believe in prayer?
Yes.
God works in different ways. I've said it in the past that for all the pain that Museveni has caused to the people of Uganda, history has dealt him a blow.
History has dealt him a blow. Why?
Through his son. Just imagine you were Museveni. You were smart enough to pretend and hide all your evil. And then, in your old days, when you think you're home and dry, that is what you have for a son.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, while in Massachusetts, I had the opportunity to sit down with the National Unity Platform President Kyagulanyi Robert, popularly known as Bobi Wine, for an in-depth interview. Since publishing that conversation, it has continued to attract widespread attention, with thousands of people watching it and many clips being shared across social media platforms. During our nearly hour-long discussion, Bobi Wine addressed some of the questions many Ugandans have been asking. He spoke about his life outside of Uganda, in exile, you may argue. His thoughts on Commander of Uganda's Defense Forces, NUP Baby Muhoozi Kainerugaba, when he hopes to return home, whether he still believes change is still possible in Uganda, and what lies ahead for Uganda's opposition movement. Some of his answers were emotional, others were surprising, and many have become even more relevant in the light of recent events. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to revisit the interview together. You and I, let's look at it. We will listen carefully to what Bobi Wine told me, compare it with what has happened since, and I'll share my commentary on why many of those remarks continue to resonate with many Ugandans today. My name is Mordecai Murisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Murisa Live.
You're watching Mordecai Murisa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to right away take you to this question that came at the end. I totally believe that Muhoozi Kainerugaba is mentally ill. Now, I want to make this disclaimer. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any knowledge in the area of human psychology or psychiatry. That's not my area of expertise. My diagnosis is pedestrian. So when I say that he's mentally sick, I don't use that as a pejorative. It comes from my observation. Either he's a sociopath, a psychopath, stupid, or a combination of all of those mentioned above. I mean, tell me, in what world does someone order the abduction of somebody, get that person tortured, takes pictures of that person naked, posts them on social media, and gloats about the same? Something is not okay here. And this was my question to Bobi Wine.
It's about what we stand for.
Here's my last question. Talk about Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Museveni's son. Do you think he's got a mental problem? I mean, you've talked about back in the past when we had the likes of Idi Amin, they would deny. But the gentleman gloats in the abduction, torturing, and then takes pictures and posts them.
Let me tell you why I invoke Idi Amin. Look, all dictators and criminal thugs across the world, the current ones and those ones in the past, they would deny the atrocities they committed. But Muhoozi Kainerugaba admits, I can guarantee you there's only one group of people who do those kind of things, or maybe two. One are terrorists. terrorists will kill people and be like, hey, yeah, we've just bombed this bridge. Yes. Another group would be like mafias, like cartels, who'll be like, oh, we just killed the Pablo. How do they speak? I don't know. I'm fake when it comes to mimicking the Espanol accent. But they would, these are bandits, criminals. They are the only ones who will be like, hey, I did this. But a man who wants people to consider him custodian of the law and is the one doing this, listen here.
It's a certain mental problem. Something is fundamentally evil, wrong, grotesque with this man. I'm sorry, I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist to diagnose him. What's your conclusion about this man?
Mordecai, do you believe in God?
Yep, I do.
Do you believe in prayer?
Yes.
God works in different ways. I've said it in the past that for all the pain that Museveni has caused to the people of Uganda, history has dealt him a blow.
History has dealt him a blow. Why?
Through his son. Just imagine you were Museveni. You were smart enough to pretend and hide all your evil. And then, in your old days, when you think you're home and dry, that is what you have for a son. You have stolen everything. You've betrayed everybody in favor of your son. And that is the kind of son that you have.
I mean, look, evil is a double-edged sword. What do I mean? Evil will seduce you into committing suicide. Probably if you have a rope and you want to put it around your neck and, try to your life. And in case the rope is not as strong enough to hold you and ends up in one or another, you end up, surviving. And by you fall and break your leg, you end up regretting. It's the one who has pushed you into that action of committing suicide, and is the one now who is blaming you for what you are doing. And that's what we see with Museveni. And when he says that God has dealt him a blow, I don't believe that God is actually punishing Museveni. I want to believe that Bobi Wine is referring to God of this earth. I don't believe that God, the Holy One, God of peace, is being, now let me show you, for what you have done, I'm going to punish you. I mean, come on. I don't believe that. But I believe that the God Museveni worships, the God of power, the God of accumulation of wealth, is the one. He pushed him to lie. Like he said, he was smart to pretend like he valued these principles and values of democracy. He never said he was smart. He means evil smart. That's not smartness. Smartness is kindness. Smartness is love. Smartness is reconciliation. Smartness is forgiveness. Smartness is selflessness. That is smartness. But the moment you are with like Museveni, where you have to manipulate masses into buying ideas you don't believe in and take off the mask after you have ascended to the highest office in the land, you're not smart. You are an opportunist. You are a liar. And that's not really real smartness. It is evil smart. So, yes, God of the earth has dealt Museveni a blow. He's a double-edged sword. He's the one who pushed him to lie to people. And now in his last days, he's saying, hey, see, now this is the kind of a child I have given you. You have produced.
You think there's any worse punishment? Mm. You see, in Exodus, in the Bible, there's a story of a king of Egypt that had refused to let the children of God go. That king, the Pharaoh, we are told by the Bible that God put something in his mind and he did the wrong thing. He pressed only the wrong buttons. Only the wrong buttons.
Yeah, that's the God of the earth. Now, let's go on to where he commented about Mohozi's nefarious plan of getting rid of the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, from his position as a leader of opposition in the Uganda's August House. This is what Bobi Wine had to say. I thought it was brilliant on how he handled this question. Listen.
And I have to believe that you're going to be there too, and many others.
I'll be there. Talking about the leader of opposition as we come to the end of this interview, you have seen now the son of the president, Museveni, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, is targeting Joel Senyonyi, wanting to get rid of him from the parliament, from his position actually, leader of opposition. What does this actually mean to you?
First, I would like to say we are not defined by any position.
Brilliant, brilliant.
I'm supposed to be in State House. I'm in exile. Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro is supposed to be in Parliament. He's in prison. Mwanga Chivumbi is supposed to be in Parliament. He had 10 people killed at his house. Now nobody knows where he is because he was abducted. And many others. So it's not about the position. Of course, Museveni's son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has gone ahead to expose himself and expose the lawlessness of the regime, which is sad but beneficial to our argument. I mean, we don't have to waste so much breath, making that point. He has helped us make it. Unlike dictators that we are told about, Idi Amin killing people, Muhoozi takes pride in killing people. He self-confessed. He tortures people, takes their picture, and will put it on social media. So it makes our argument way easier. The Honorable Joel Senyonyi has and continues to play a very, very important role. No wonder he's targeted. I'm so proud of him. He's not shakeable. And if, again, they make that idiotic move in the Parliament of Uganda, so be it.
Brilliant. Look, it goes back to what he said, that they're not defined by the positions. And he went on to tell you, these are leaders who have faced the wrath of the Museveni criminal regime. But despite of the mayhem that has visited onto them, they continue to represent the ideas. What is he trying to say? That, hey, my ideas do not make sense only when I am president or when I am member of parliament or when I am in this office. No, if you want to really get rid of that position of the member of our leader of opposition, take it. But that won't take away the disgruntlement, the disenfranchisement, the cries of the Ugandan people. You can take away the position, but the complaints will continue to be raised. You look at the faces of so many Ugandans who go to bed on empty stomachs, and you'll know those are opposition voices. I was having a conversation with a very good brother of mine, and I was telling him, he said, Mordecai, there's no opposition in Uganda. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he told me, Dr. Kizza Besigye is in prison. Bobi Wine went into exile, and everyone is silent. I'm like, are you happy about all that you just mentioned? It's like, no, who is happy? Who can be happy about all that stuff? I'm like, then you are opposition. Opposition is not Bobi Wine. Opposition is not Dr. Kizza Besigye. Opposition is the situation that we oppose. We are in this position where we oppose the lawlessness, the criminality, the impunity, the corruption, the embezzlement of funds, the greed. And those are not positions of Bobi Wine or Dr. Kizza Besigye alone. We oppose that somebody is going to swindle money that is supposed to be fixing a road somewhere. We oppose that someone is going to steal money that is supposed to purchase drugs for people, for sick people in Uganda. We oppose. And the absence of Dr. Kizza Besigye and the absence of Bobi Wine doesn't actually mean that all those things have vanished, have disappeared. Absolutely not. If anything, they actually bring them, to our attention more. Because we'll be like, hey, even our leaders, the ones we believe in, have been, forced into exile, and others have been abducted and kept in torture dungeons. So yeah, we're not defined by positions. We're defined by our causes, things we believe in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. And I asked him about the reason um, uh, he continues to participate in an election that he believes won't bring results. What did he have to say? I got something for you to see. Stick around. And yes, I think I should I just remember this. We were supposed to have another conversation in the same setting in Uganda, but he got engagements and he had to do a few things. So we postponed that conversation. We might have it in the nearby future. What you can do is make sure that you subscribed. Subscribe to this link, to this feed, Mordecai Morisa Live, your go-to platform in regards to Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Don't just watch. I'll watch, but I'll never comment. I'll watch, but I'll never like. I'll watch, but I'll never subscribe. Others have actually complained, Mordecai, I want to subscribe, but every time I try, they ask me for my email. And to that, I usually say, how about you put in your email and yes, subscribe. Okay, here's Bobi Wine.
And for that, no, we don't. Yeah.
At what point do you tell your supporters that participating in another election under the same conditions may not be the right strategy? Is there a point?
Participating in an election is not the only strategy. We have gone to elections, like we went to an election in Kayunga when Nakwede was running for LC5, where we won on every polling station. But Byabakama declared the person that came third. Should we apologize?
No.
For that? No. Alex Weiswa Mufumbiro won on every polling station in Nakawa. But they announced some old man who came number 3. Should he apologize for that? No. We do what is right. We do what we believe in as a people. Is doing what is right enough? Maybe no. Maybe we should do more. But somebody should not regret for doing what is right. Those that came before us did what they could. Dr. Paulo Kawanga Semogerere did what he could. He shouldn't apologize for doing what he did. Sebana Chisto, Dr. Kiza Besigye did what they could. Should they apologize for doing what they could just because they did not accomplish the mission? No. We are where we are today because we are standing on the shoulder of those giants that came before us. And maybe our duty, even when we don't succeed yet, but our duty now is to keep that hope alive, is to keep that candle burning, so that the next generation that comes after us also gets inspired. For me, I'm not waiting to celebrate when we win. I celebrate the fact that we refuse to give up.
Brilliant, brilliant.
We have not won yet, but at least we've refused to kneel down to our oppressor. That should be victory enough. The black people fought for 400 years.
In the USA?
In the USA, until they were free. Apartheid went on for numerous generations. Colonialism went on for numerous generations, more than 60 years in Uganda. But it was finally defeated. The Museveni dictatorship has been going for 40 years. Myself and the party that I lead is not even 10 years in the struggle. So we shouldn't beat ourselves down.
Actually, the party is celebrating 6 years since its establishment.
For doing the little that we've done and for contributing what we've contributed so far. We should just not give up.
Brilliant. Look, to put this into context, is this struggle is a marathon. It's never been a sprint. And I'm glad that, he refers to or invokes struggles like that of slaves who fought for 400 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Close your eyes and think about 400 years. How many generations? 400 years. But what kept them going? It is the hope that was carried on from one generation to another. The fact that people are not giving up, despite of where a point where they've been pushed. Many of them abducted, tortured, disappeared, maimed. But they're saying, no, we're not giving up. That alone, in and of itself, should inspire you. The apartheid regime, I usually, again, was talking to a brother, I told him, imagine what went through the minds of so many fighters in Umukoto overseas and leaders in the African National Congress in South Africa when they learned that Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela had been arrested and they waited for him to be released after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 27 years in prison at Robben Island. But they kept on going. And have they achieved completely what they wanted? Absolutely not. But the struggle continues. A luta continua. You have to keep going. Even America, this stunning republic, since the fall of Ottoman Empire and Roman Empire, at least America is proving to be a great one. Since their fall, America standing out to be this great force to reckon with, is still struggling with a few issues. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, I think, he said, towards a more perfect union. They're still struggling, but regardless, they keep going. So do not beat yourself down. The fact that you still believe that things are achievable, that alone is a celebration, because many people have waved the white flag that said, man, I can do it. But how lucky are you that you still believe things can be done? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make this very long. Should we go? Where else do you want me to? Okay. Let me ask him about the abandonment of the struggle. You know, I think I told him that people have said winners don't quit because quitters never win. Did you abandon the struggle? Listen here.
Right away. Now you're in the US shortly after the election.
Yes.
Many people believe that political leaders should never abandon the struggle. There's a lot of criticism directed or headed to your direction. People saying you abandoned the struggle, you ran away, you are a coward. You've had people say this. Did you abandon the struggle? Why did you run away?
Interesting. We must know that naysayers will always have something to say.
Absolutely.
Even when you survive, they'll say, you're a coward, why didn't you become a martyr? You know?
Yeah.
So it is not what the naysayers say that matters, but what we believe in. I'm alive today because I was able to outsmart the Ugandan military, beat Museveni and his son at their own game, and I left Uganda intact. Otherwise, I would be dead. As you are aware that the military, police, and all security agencies were looking for me. They failed. I proved to them that their intelligence is not as intelligent, and I made it out. But leaving Uganda or running to save my life is not abandoning the struggle. Maybe those people have not read history, but all the great revolutionaries I know have always taken that, what we call a tactical withdrawal. Mandela lived in exile in Ethiopia, Nyerere lived in exile, Bote lived in exile, Ben Bella lived in exile, Oliver Tambo lived in exile, Museveni himself ran and lived in exile in Sweden, you know. So we are taught mainly by Milton Obote that sometimes it's good to die a little in order to live longer.
It's good to die a little in order to live longer. Brilliant. Now, he never evades answering any question. Absolutely not. It takes you on this beautiful journey. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine again, Koja Charles. He told me, man, this is my third time listening to this conversation where you hosted Bobi Wine. I'm like, why? It's like, you know, that man makes a lot of points that you might miss out on one if you do not pay close attention. He said that every time he's listening to this conversation, again, he finds out something new. So he's giving you an example that, hey, this is called a tactical withdrawal. we are tactically withdrawing to re-strategize, to regroup, to remobilize. And he slaps in the face of purveyors of these talking points, because these are regime apologists who say, Bobi Wine abandoned the struggle, he ran away. Then it's like, hey, dude, this is the action that was undertaken by your guy, Museveni. He ran away. Was he in Tanzania? I think, actually, by the time he gave birth to his dictator, little nape of baby Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he was in Tanzania. Muhoozi Kainerugaba was born in Tanzania while his dad was in exile fighting Idi Amin Dada. He went into exile in Sweden. So since then, they've all kept quiet. Actually, he admitted a few days ago, he said, I was in exile. I know, always this, what is it called? I'm forgetting the psychological term. It's a syndrome where you present yourself as the best in every situation. He said that he knows everything to do with exile. He knows everything. Main character syndrome. Yeah, that's what it's called. Main character syndrome. What I'm saying, in everything he talks about, he's the main character. Sad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want me to dig deeper in this conversation, give it commentary, let me know down in the comment section. If we hit 10,000 views on this one, I promise I'll come back and look at a few more other areas where he didn't or he explained, and I will explain further. Okay? So make sure we hit 10,000 views. And if we do, then you write in the comment section, be like, hey, Mordecai, what are you waiting for? My name is Mordecai Mulisa. I'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at this. In this book, Museveni promises Miriam Matembe never to kill her or arrest her. Imagine the level of criminality you must be on that you promise your friends, I'll never kill you. Don't take my word for it. I'll read you a few lines here. And we're going to look at a few things here. Listen, in his own word, this is page 152. She says, Miriam Matembe, in his own words, the president swore to me that he would never put me in prison or kill me. What? He said, Mbwenu Matembe, this is Urunyankole, buzmanoti nangu niza kuita, mbwenu hatu nakura herra, taru obundi bankomere, nari nkuitsere. That loosely translated as, Matembe, I give you my word. Under my watch, you'll never be arrested or killed. What a murderer. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you have a friend of yours, and they'll be like, oh, do you know, I'll never kill you. What? Is this? I'll never kill you. Now, this cannot be understood by Museveni Simps and acolytes. They're all tough man, Museveni, warrior. When you call him a murderer, they're like, why do you call him a murderer? He killed people to ascend to power, okay? He killed people. He's a murderer. He continues to do the same. This will be a conversation of another day. Please subscribe and let me know if you would want me to revisit words of Miriam Matembe she writes about in this book, The Struggle for Freedom and Democracy Betrayed. My name is Mordecai Mulisa. I'll be back soon. Stick around.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.